Hello, everybody, and thanks for visiting us at the Elbow Drop Podcast, brought to you by theelbowdrop.com, where we're dropping the elbow on all things sports and entertainment. Guys, this is the inaugural edition of the Elbow Drop Podcast, so let's introduce ourselves. I'm the Birdman.
I'm Bob.
And this is?
Mikey Balls.
All right, guys, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well. You?
I'm pretty good. We're coming to everybody from Vault 126. That's a reference to something each of us love. I hope everybody picks up on it. But Mikey Balls, I thought I'd start with a little questionnaire with you. We have a lot of varied characters on the Elbow Drop, a lot of guys writing articles, shooting podcasts, us three gentlemen, not to mention the Don behind the camera, Don Vito. He waved, so you guys know. You can't see him. We were able to, though. But Mikey Balls, you're the most creative, interestingly creative person I know. Not to mention my brother, by the way. See the family resemblance. But anyway, if you could describe every member of the Elbow Drop, starting with the people in this room, in one word, maybe one or two words, how would you do it? Start with me, if you would.
Quick-minded.
I like that.
Nice.
That seemed like it came right off. All right, that was good. What about Bob here? In his homemade Ric Flair robe.
Worked so hard on it.
Which is lovely, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the most obvious word, especially against the homemade Ric Flair, robe, then artistic. I mean, look at that robe. That's pretty good.
Artistic.
Can't wait to see what it looks like on camera.
That's silk.
Yeah.
Made it just for today.
Look at that.
Just get a few bows on there, and you'll,
Oh, work in progress, but it'll get there.
It's got the long hair to go with it, too. So,
you'll be jet flying, limousine riding in no time.
Just stealing, styling, profiling.
All right, so can you describe the Don, please?
He's imaginative.
Imaginative.
Is that a right word? No, I don't think so.
You said that correctly.
No, it does exist, that word, but that is a word that
Has a lot of ideas.
Okay, so
imaginative.
Okay,
I'll stick with that.
the Elbow Drop. He's a founding father, so I would agree with that. I'm appreciative that you didn't.
It's better than my last one.
Yeah, I'm appreciative that you didn't go with a stereotypical answer or
I
anything.
didn't want it this time.
Anything like that. What about a resident sports dude? Rich. Das, if you will. We do call him Das a lot. It just means the in German. People are probably going to be curious to know why we call the sports dude Das, but there is no explanation. He's just Das. But he's our resident sports dude. By the way, there was a big off-season day in NFL today.
Oh, it was ridiculous. But I'd rather leave it purely to him to talk about.
Yeah, no, he's gonna.
Yeah, but today was a very, very, very.
He's
very
gonna be
big day.
bringing his own sports podcast, and he's constantly posting to the Facebook, which
constantly
I hope you
articles.
guys have seen. It's pretty entertaining stuff. We're all up there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So can you describe the sports dude who also happens to be a chef? Notice I'm shamelessly plugging all of our
Oh, of course, just
endeavors.
our expertise.
But describe Rich in one word, please.
Rotund.
I like the hand
Sign
motion.
language.
Okay, one more. He's not here. He wasn't able to grace us with his presence tonight. But the big papa of the Elbow Drop.
Oh, the F-bomb himself.
Yeah, Fernando. What word would you use to describe him? And please stay away from the too obvious that once people see him, it'll immediately come to their heads.
Unique.
Unique. I like that. Safe. That was a safe word to use.
I think so, too.
Fernando. He just met Ric Flair. His
that's
He's
where the robe
superhero.
came from. Oh yeah, it was emotional. He was in tears. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I'd like to hear his reaction on a podcast. I think everybody else would like to.
I would
hear.
love to tell this story, but I'd rather wait till he's here personally to just explain the whole process.
Yeah, Fernando. He was lucky enough to meet his hero, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. My hero, wrestling hero, is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. One of the, I don't know why the word proprietor came into my head. I want to say proprietors of the Elbow Drop.
I can see why.
Well, the innovators. He made the move famous. But anyway, another guy who made it famous is the fella sitting in front of the table there, Macho Man Randy Savage. Rest
who
in
happens
peace.
to be Don Vito's favorite.
Who happens to be Don Vito's favorite. He also made the Elbow Drop famous maneuver. Mikey, do you have anybody that drops the elbow that's one of your favorite wrestlers?
No, not really, no. No, my guy drops a tombstone.
You must be talking about Kane.
I speak of The Undertaker.
You speak of The Undertaker. Speaking of The Undertaker, he's making his return to WrestleMania this year to take on Bray Wyatt. What are your thoughts on that? Because you've been a huge Undertaker fan your entire life. You're a guy who's followed his career very passionately. You actually walked out of the room when the streak ended last year. You didn't even watch the rest of the pay-per-view, if I recall.
Yeah, he Taker lost. He went up the stairs and he did not come back the rest of the night.
So how you feeling about that? How you feeling about the streak ending? How you feeling about Taker coming back despite the fact that he's no longer undefeated at WrestleMania? And how do you feel about his opponent, Bray Wyatt?
Oh, like most people, I was very upset when The Undertaker lost, but I got over it. I realized that Brock Lesnar, he deserves it. I mean, he really is that good. I mean, come on, like he the man's a machine. And overall, it was a good match, you know. So, and if anybody's gonna take it from The Undertaker, let it be Brock Lesnar. But you know, then again, still, I'd much rather have the streak going. And as for Bray Wyatt,
I just want to correct. I'm pretty sure it's Bray Wyatt.
I like Bray Wyatt. I'm gonna probably keep saying Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt.
Well, that's wrong. But fine, call him what you will.
I like Bray Wyatt.
You may as well hold the microphone.
All right, I'm gonna hold it on. It's kind of heavy though. Bray Wyatt, you know, I like him too. I mean, seriously, I think this is gonna be a great match. I mean, you got Bray Wyatt, he's got his own hat, and you got The Undertaker, who has a much bigger hat and a much darker hat. Now Bray Wyatt, he's like, you know, my hat, it's very creepy, and so's yours, The Undertaker. He says The Undertaker, you know, you got a creepy hat too. But The Undertaker has more experience in the hat field. He's been wearing a hat for a very long time. Of course, when he was the American Badass, he wasn't really into his hats. He was more into his bandanas. Also cool for him to wear bandanas. But still, you know, he's got the hat. He's got it on Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt, you know, how you supposed to beat something that's dead?
Okay, so it's not about the Phenom versus the Eater of Worlds to you. It's not about the dark side versus the dark side, so to speak. It's just about hats v hats.
Everybody is focused on their backgrounds, who they are, but really, in the end, it's going to be about their hats.
Okay, so that's the type of analysis you get here at the Elbow Drop. Not necessarily the most logical of breakdowns, but the simplest breakdown I've ever heard about a wrestling match in my lifetime anyway. Bob, what do you think? I mean, we're not going to hear anything as compelling as the hat v hat.
There's a whole new plateau to this match, as well as my life after hearing that. I think it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it so much. I think Bray Wyatt, this fresh, new, creepy, spooky guy versus the originator, Undertaker, picture-perfect match. I am beyond happy it's happening.
I agree, and I'm surprised to hear you be so positive about it when you were looking forward to having Undertaker face another man this year.
Well, I know it's not going to happen. It never will happen, but
well, you know,
considering what I am given right now, Bray versus Taker,
yeah,
I pay full price for that.
So the man I'm talking about is Sting, and you're saying if Sting wasn't in the picture right now, Bray would be the #1 opponent.
Absolutely,
pick for Taker.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. That's pretty smart.
That's how I'm seeing it.
For some reason,
I don't have a choice.
Sting is here, and he's the vigilante. He's the vigilante in the WWE.
He went from being the Joker in TNA to Batman in the WWE. So,
and he was the Crow in WCW.
And when he goes to ROH, he'll become Green Lantern. Like, let's just see where this goes.
Yeah, and right now he's the vigilante, and he's trying to take down the Authority, and at the helm of the Authority is Triple H. So you got Sting versus Triple H. I know you have an opinion on this matter, so you know, maybe
I'll keep it short and sweet so we don't put the fans to sleep. I have a bit of a personal bias with Triple H. I don't think he's that good of a wrestler. I loved him in Evolution. I loved him in DX. Outside of that,
good faction, man. Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. When he was surrounded by talent, he looked good. But when he was on his own, I'd rather watch a tag team match between the Bella Twins with Fox and Vicky Guerrero.
That's not to say that they're not talented individuals. It's just women's wrestling, I guess, isn't your particular cup.
They're not wrestling women. They're just women in a wrestling ring. They're not athletes.
That's a very apt description and a very good way to defend your argument.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to argue with that. I can't. But
whatever the case may be, I don't like Triple H. I don't like how he wrestles. I can't stand him on the mic. I'd rather vacuum my living room and do my homework than see Triple H talk on a mic or get in a ring. So seeing him fight Sting is a waste.
I'm optimistic.
Don't get it.
I'm optimistic about the match. I mean, I'm looking at both possibilities of it. A, this match could end right after the bell rings and the stare down's over, or B, could be very surprising, and Sting could, maybe pull out something. Fans might be chanting, "You still got it" at Triple H or Sting. I don't know.
You have an elderly Sting versus a washed-up, older Triple H. It's like the sloppy seconds of a match. It's not the prime fight that we could have had. Sting versus Taker. No, Triple H is just so full of himself. He has this massive event in WWE history of getting Sting, the man who managed to never be in WWE but become as famous, if not a little bit more, than Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant or AJ Styles compared to ROH. But no, he's going to make him fight Sting first.
Okay, so that also might...
This is an ego feed.
It might play into his character as well. He's aware of what people say about him. I think he's worked it into his character a bit.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I mean, now he flaunts the fact that him and Stephanie are married and in power and haha.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? If I was married to my former boss's daughter and going to get his company soon, I would wear a T-shirt that said that.
You think Triple H is gonna? Yeah, he's getting the company.
He's getting the company. He's getting the company.
I don't know if Shane's gonna pop into the picture.
No, Shane left because he knew it was gonna happen. That's that.
Speaking of Shane, I'd love to see him come back. And
I would love to also
have one more match. I love watching that crazy bastard.
Shane O'Mac was just.
He still has one of my favorite matches of all time against Kurt Angle, King of the Ring, 2001.
Oh, that was phenomenal, where he did the Angle slam off the piece of plywood.
Yeah, and then the belly-to-bellies through the glass windows.
Out of the 22 were successful, but all 22 were phenomenal.
Oh, it blew my mind. That's a classic match. Speaking of classic matches. There's one match at WrestleMania I think will be a classic, and I know everybody at the elbow drop, this is the match that we're all kind of secretly looking forward to. And that's the ladder match, the Intercontinental title ladder match.
Yes.
I think it's WWE's way of kind of apologizing and sneaking the Money in the Bank back onto the card at WrestleMania. Sorry, we took it. Here you go.
Of course.
Either way, I'm happy to see a ladder match return to WrestleMania.
Oh, same here. I just miss large, loud, big matches, like steeple matches, being at WrestleMania. WrestleMania, in my opinion, hasn't been treated as the granddaddy of them all in 10, 12 years almost. And now... But the Money in the Bank stipulation in the years prior, I always loved. That was my favorite part. That's everyone's favorite part of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble, of course. But now with WrestleMania, I want some big match, and we have the 6-man ladder match back, but this time for the IC instead of a Money in the Bank shot.
I'm happy about it, though. It gives the IC title... I mean, the last time the IC title was defended at Mania, I think it was JBL and Mysterio in that 18-second match or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was a while ago. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, it was JBL's last match, I believe. So it has a prominent role at the pay-per-view. It's going to be a show stealer of a match, I think.
Everything about this match is great. The
group of talent, the names in it.
The people in it, the names in it, the way they've been building it up. People keep stealing the title.
Yeah.
It's funny. I love it. It's great writing. For once, I'm enjoying a product involving that title.
Yeah, see, we're not just sour grapes here at the elbow drop. We don't complain about what they're doing wrong. We also do give props to what they're doing right.
Because it's so rare. You just have to enjoy it when it shows up.
That's exactly right, I guess. But, Mikey, who's your pick in this ladder match? Yeah, there's a few competitors in it. There's 6 at this point. But who's your pick to win the ladder match at WrestleMania?
I really want to see Wade Barrett keep it.
Ooh.
I really want to see. I love bad news. I do. I love bad news.
Logically, the way they're booking him right now, losing every match, I really want to see him come out strong and claim the title. But there are a couple guys I'd like to see with the strap on. But I'm gonna go strap on. I shouldn't have said strap on.
Go on. Move on.
I shouldn't have pointed out that I said it. But anyway, I'm gonna go with Wade Barrett as well. Bob.
I love Wade Barrett. The whole bad news gimmick, he's really grown the last few years. As happy as I am to see him with that title, because I feel like he's the definition of that caliber, if not maybe to one day become heavyweight. I want maybe
Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's a good choice, man.
I would have to give it to Ziggler. No one Ziggler is better than Ziggler. He's the best. He can fly. He can wrestle anyone. He can wrestle Triple H and make him look good. He is just fantastic.
Yeah, I got to agree. Dolph Ziggler is definitely
he can wrestle a broom. And
the Millennium Man of the WWE. I mean, he's the guy of this generation. He's the most he's the show off. That's what he is.
Absolutely. He knows he admits it and he walks the walk.
So if Dolph Ziggler wins, bad news for Wade Barrett.
Absolutely.
So bad news for Wade Barrett. But to get away from wrestling for a second,
absolutely.
Good news for gamers. Bob, you're very excited about something that happened today.
Couldn't have been better time. My birthday being tomorrow. I have
early happy birthday.
Thank you.
I hope people will comment and leave you birthday wishes on the elbow drop.
Please do so. Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media you have, you can find us there. Give me some love, people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But let's talk about your early birthday present.
Grand Theft Auto 5, a year and a half in the making. They finally released the heist multiplayer feature.
I play Grand Theft Auto, so I'm very excited myself.
Thank God, I've been waiting so long for this. Long story short, if no one who ever played the game, GTA 5, open world shooter, blah, blah, blah. They promised online multiplayer where you could just play other random people, but one of the biggest features in the game were heists. You plan out a job, kind of like Ocean's 11 kind of thing. You get the car, you get the guns, I'll hack the cameras, stuff like that. But you get to do this with other friends, all the way from 4 people maybe to 8 people, 8-player missions. I haven't downloaded it myself yet, but I plan on doing it tomorrow because I'm off from work. I got nothing to do. It's my birthday. I plan on wasting every second of the day playing the heist feature.
Maybe next time we'll get a little
finally
bit of
here on all consoles. 360.
We'll get a little bit of a review. Maybe.
Absolutely. I will personally, on the elbow drop on every single form of social media, I will post a very quick, short summary review, and eventually when I get the chance, I will post a recordable or visual review, beating it to crap or actually maybe praising it.
Well, knowing you, Bob, you're probably not gonna be too satisfied with it. But let's hope that Bob, you're definitely
maybe wait a year and a half.
You're definitely
picking it to
the
pieces.
pessimist of the elbow drop. If you give something the okay, then I know it's truly good.
Exactly.
I could hear 1,000 people tell me something is so awesome, but if you tell me it sucks, I'm gonna second guess it. It's really
I'm that damn good.
That really is the truth. So, Bob, your opinion counts here at the elbow drop.
Damn well it does. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, the man in the Ric Flair robe.
Woo.
All right, but moving on.
Let's move on.
Talking about video games, GTA heists, I'm very excited about. Mikey, you are our video game guy. That's who you are. That's what you are in life. Not just at the elbow drop, but in life. That's that's your passion. You live and you breathe it. Okay. You actually brought your Nintendo DS. You were playing it just a little while ago. We asked you very kindly to put it down. Then we wrestled it away from you. It was a whole thing. But besides that, your favorite game right now to play. What is your favorite game to play?
See, that's a tough question.
I know it's down to 2 choices, right?
It's my favorite video game of all time is Super Smash Brothers.
We're all familiar with that at the elbow drop, but continue.
And which, yes, I am currently playing. However, I, for some reason, briefly have, well, not briefly, I still am, have returned to Call of Duty Black Ops, where I first learned the art of Call of Duty.
Yeah, apparently it is an art form. Honestly, I'm the only one, I think, in the world, but you've made me hate the game in ways I never thought I could hate something.
Which I take responsibility for. I taught him everything he knows.
That being said, the game is great.
Sir, you took part in teaching me, yes, the ways of Call of Duty. However, our sports dude technically did...
sports dude...
He did sit me down. He taught me the way of the run and the gun. And Bobby, yes, you did. You taught me.
Who do you think he watched to perfect his skill?
Either way, I blame all of you. You all played a hand in it.
We've ruined Larry's
and now
life.
You are what you are.
However, Bobby, I do give you credit as you did teach me the way of perhaps slowing down. Because I noticed that your gameplay also, I watched you play, and I put it into my own play style. As a matter of fact, I learned from most everybody. I mesh all the play styles together. Anything I can bring into my own play style, I just mesh it.
He's so good at Call of Duty. When I watch him play it regularly, he gets messages from kids that call him a hacker. He doesn't know what the word hack means. He has no idea how to hack anything in his life, but
I can barely use an iPad, and these people accuse me of hacking my video game. I don't know how to do that. I don't. I really don't.
If you guys see Mikey Balls... Is that your gamer tag, Mikey Balls?
Yeah.
If you guys see Mikey Balls on the PlayStation Network, PlayStation 3, doesn't have a PlayStation 4 yet, working on it, we'll get there. A lot of good games coming out for it. I'm excited for it. We'll get to that down the road. But anyway, you see Mikey Balls on Call of Duty PlayStation Network. Know that if you're on his team, you're going to win. And if you're playing against him, you're going to leave the lobby very, very angry. Mikey.
Kill-death ratios beware.
Any last words to future Call of Duty victims?
I'm sorry about the puppies and the Huey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he will be calling both of those in on you.
the puppies are they're pretty dangerous. I like the puppies.
Oh, we all do.
Okay, Call of Duty aside, thank God, because I can't stand Call of Duty. I was talking about PlayStation 4. There's a game coming out for it that I think I'm going to buy the system for. Arkham Knight. Batman.
Oh, my God.
I'm a huge fan of the Arkham series, but it was a good segue for me to get into Batman, honestly, because we're all huge Batman fans. I mean, look at the Joker on the table. We made sure he had a pretty prominent position. We all own Batman paraphernalia. You got Batfleck playing Batman later on in 2016.
Bob approved.
Yeah, I'm excited about Ben Affleck taking on the role of Batman. I mean, it's better than Christian Bale, I think. Well, I don't know if it's going to be better than Christian Bale.
I didn't like Christian Bale, but besides that, besides not liking Christian Bale, I'll leave it at that. I won't talk no more.
Yeah, I was a big fan of actually Michael Keaton as Batman. He was my favorite Batman of all time.
Oh, no one could beat Michael Keaton, but Christian Bale being Batman / Bruce Wayne, I didn't like. He was American Psycho, just what he did when he wasn't killing women. That's what I thought.
What'd you think of George Clooney?
Amazing Bruce Wayne, terrible Batman.
That's like the best description I've ever heard of George Clooney playing Batman. He kind of ruined the franchise a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no, I hated the costume. I hated him in the costume, but when he was just Bruce Wayne is a millionaire playboy. George Clooney is what? A playboy millionaire. It was perfect for him. But Michael Keaton is the best Bruce Wayne because you would never expect Michael Keaton to be Batman. No one ever expected Bruce Wayne to be Batman.
Mikey,
so that's why he's perfect.
Real quick, who's your favorite Batman?
Toss up between the Bale and the Keaton.
Okay.
I like the way they both do it. I can't say.
All right, fair enough. Respectable choice, but I'm going to have to go with, and we're going to have to cut to a commercial break very shortly.
Oh, yeah, when we come back, it's going to get heated.
So I'm just going to mention my favorite Batman. That's why I brought up Arkham Knight. Might be yours too. Kevin Conroy.
Oh, yes. We're talking about on-screen personalities, Keaton, but overall, I got to give it to Conroy. But
I agree, by the way.
Absolutely. We'll get more after that. We will get back to you more with more content and everything else after this quick commercial break.
Hello, boys and girls, and we're back here on the Elbow Drop podcast. We're dropping the elbow on all things sports and entertainment. I'm the Birdman.
I'm Bob.
This is Bob. We lost Mikey Balls, but he'll be back. He assured me. So anyway, let's get back into what we were talking about before the commercial break.
Oh, Batman Arkham Knight, or just who's Batman?
Well, I believe we were just very Batman-centric
in general. Yeah,
at the moment.
Let's keep it that way briefly.
Yeah, okay. My favorite Batman, I said, was Kevin Conroy.
Which is my favorite as well. He made Batman who he is. Because, I mean, you being a child of late 80s, early 90s, me being early 90s, I had the animated series.
Well, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, like by Bruce Timm.
The fanboy in us just came out a little bit. We both just went,
the exhaustion, exactly.
But Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman.
Exactly. Batman, like, he's the gadgets, he's everything if you see him on screen, but it's really the voice, like.
And not to mention, Mark Hamill is the voice
Joker. You asked me who's your favorite Joker?
It's Mark Hamill.
Mine too, exactly. It always goes back to the animated series. But if we had to go strictly on-screen presence, the live-action versions of these.
Yeah. On-screen?
We can go a bit more into detail.
This is a tough one because you got the over-the-top, Cesar Romero playing the Joker. I believe that was his name. Then you got Jack Nicholson, who was just Jack Nicholson in Joker makeup. And then you got Heath Ledger, who was
a crystal meth addict,
who was just very dark
lipstick
with
and
it.
powder. No.
I'll say this: I can't name a favorite, but they all fit in very nicely to the worlds that they lived in. You know what I mean?
I see.
I
see where you're coming from.
If I had to say a favorite, it would be Mark Hamill, which is why I think we love the Arkham series so much, is because we got more of this mature rated story.
Exactly. Mark Hamill being allowed to become a lot more darker, more gritty, dirty kind of Joker.
And I won't spoil it for those who haven't played the series.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
I don't know if we're going to see more Mark Hamill as the Joker
in this third and final installment of the Arkham series.
Yeah, pick it up. I'm probably going to replay all the Arkham games.
I plan on it. I actually took off like those 4 days from work leading up to the midnight release, and I'm going to play Arkham 1, 2. I'm not playing Origins. That was a terrible game.
Wow, I can't believe that you actually are taking off from work to run through.
Oh, absolutely. This is like a religious moment. This is my pilgrimage right now.
I understand. I kind of turn superhero things into ritual myself. Like
of course.
we got the Avengers Age of Ultron coming out.
Oh,
when any of those movies come out, we midnight them.
Oh, speaking of which, midnight and people come out of things coming out of nowhere.
Where were you?
Why so serious, gentlemen?
Nice.
So you could hear us the whole time, but you didn't want to come back to the camera. We're doing the video. It's a big thing.
Not at all. I was just merely observing and thinking, and and I want to be here.
And you were being Batman, okay?
Because this is what it's all about.
What is it all about?
This right now, this moment.
This moment. That sounded coherent up until that last phrase you said. Mikey Balls, everybody.
Mikey Balls, everybody.
The gamer.
So yes, Batman Arkham Knight. Can't wait. Buy it. Which, by the way, while we're talking about it, sorry, got giddy again. Got an M rating.
It did.
It got a mature adult rating.
I don't think we're gonna see Two-Face snorting coke off of.
It'd be hysterical, like how he snorted up one
off
nostril
of a gavel
and it would kind of fall off in the other.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get that. I just think they got
Penguin
to take.
totem. I mean, this can be very dark and
I think
this game.
They just got to take Batman to.
But I'm mad now.
Bit of a darker place.
One reason why I'm not happy about an M rating is because I would spoil it then.
Okay, well,
because of
yeah, I know what you're talking about, but they don't know what we're talking about unless they play the games.
Buy the game, buy the first one,
play them,
buy the second one, buy the third one. Origins, what's that? I don't know. Let's move on.
Play the games.
Play the games. Play the games.
Anyway, Mikey, we were talking about I brought up the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. I was talking about a certain tradition we enact whenever we have a superhero movie come out. Could you explain what we do?
First we meet at a...
we meet at the Bird's Nest.
At the Bird's Nest, most times the Bird's Nest. Then we engage in party favors, which is usually alcohol.
Mass quantities are consumed.
But responsibly, might I?
Yes, nobody drinks and drives.
We don't want to spill our drinks.
Of course not. We resort to taking a taxi, okay? We make sure that if we're going to get in a vehicle, it's going to be somebody who's sober and knows what they're doing. That's why that's another thing that we're all about here, being responsible. All right?
Professionalism.
Exactly.
You heard it first at the elbow drop. Don't drink and drive.
Might spill your drink.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, Age of Ultron, we're very excited for it. Some of my favorite superheroes are in it. The sports dude, he's got Captain America. Don Vito's got the Iron Man he's rooting for. Big news, Spider-Man's going to be involved in these movies. Not maybe Age of Ultron, but he will be involved at some point down the road. Who knows?
Captain America 3, Civil War.
Yeah, he plays a big part in that in the comic book.
Yeah, in the comic book world, Spider-Man plays a drastic part in the series as well as performing something incredibly eventful.
And now that he's going to be in the movies, I wonder if they're
rewriting the comics or
the script,
Exactly. It's like Disney's like, all right, we got 20
They're like,
years
oh my
done.
God, we could actually do this now.
And then Sony's like, by the way, guys, oh, come on, all right.
No, and then Sony's like, no, guys, Topher Grace's Venom is going to save the franchise. Mikey, what'd you think of Topher Grace's Venom?
Give us a one-word thing again. One word.
Different.
That is so generous.
Really? Why
so generous.
Nice? Why are you being nice?
I could claw and tear into this if I want to. Not in the best way, because I don't have a way with words like these two gentlemen here. But let's just say different and just
Can you tell me the name of the character that's sitting behind you? He's pretty historic in pop culture.
Well, first of all, I didn't know he was there. So I might have pooed a little. And that there is one Darth Vader.
Now, Darth Vader is the main antagonist in the original Star Wars series. I know you're not a Star Wars guy, so you might not be too familiar with Darth Vader, but just to break it down for you, he controls some invisible particles that may or may not be able to strangle you.
And I know he's supposed to be somebody's dad.
Yeah, he's somebody's dad. Spoiler alert.
I don't know who. He's somebody's dad. It's really confusing.
But I mentioned Darth Vader because we were talking about Batman. It made me think epic fights. That's something that we love talking about. We love writing about. It's something that we're going to be bringing to the elbow drop. So I just wanted to explain a little bit about what that is. An epic fight, as you may have guessed, is just a fight between two icons, whether that be in history or pop culture.
Or more.
Or more.
In one single battle.
It could be two or more, and it's either in some type of physical competition or just who was better at their job and whatnot. But one of the most famous arguments between our group is Batman versus Darth Vader, because Darth Vader obviously has the Force, and Batman...
Darth Vader.
Well, he's just Batman. So you say Darth Vader.
Yes, absolutely.
I know what you're going to say, but say it into the microphone anyway. Batman.
Throat cancer, Batman.
Throat cancer, Batman. Let my people go. That's how he said it when he was playing Moses, by the way. There was a big problem on the production. That and Terminator he had a problem with as well. We're all very well aware of that. Christian Bale, you're my hero. But anyway, we're talking about them. We're talking about Batman and superheroes. I just lost. I'm like help me because I just lost my train of thought.
I caught that. Well, no,
what I'm saying.
We were stretching.
Darth Vader as well,
and Darth Vader as well.
And we were talking about epic fights. Mikey, you said Batman. You said Darth Vader.
Absolutely.
I know the man sitting behind the camera is going to go with Darth Vader. I'm going to say Batman. So it's a 2v2 already. And I've looked at it from a logical point of view. I understand Darth Vader's got his special powers and his special abilities, but it's open for debate, and it's one of those fights that I think our fellow elbows would I'm going to try to say that a lot.
How about our Elbros?
Elbros, I like that. Elbros. Okay, so fellow Elbros.
Patented, don't take it.
Yeah, okay. That's something that they can come to the elbow drop and read about or listen to, and send us their feedback, send us their opinion, and hey, if we like your answer enough,
we'll feature it. Like if it's a good enough reason, we'd be like, Mr. Such and Such said this is why Batman would win.
Yes, please. I would love if James Earl Jones himself sent in a comment to tell us why Darth Vader is that's a very confusing role. He was played by a black man and a white man.
It was a giant, like 6'10", I believe Scottish bodybuilder. I can't recall his name right now. Forgive me. And was voiced by.
He'll forgive you wherever he is. He'll forgive you.
No, he's can read the minds of everybody. I know it.
Yeah, you look like you're getting paranoid. Like
exactly. I'm just making sure.
Like he's behind us.
But no, yeah, it was a tall bodybuilder played by James. That was like James Earl Jones' real breakthrough in movies. Honestly, his voice he used for Darth Vader, and only he knew the big plot twist with Luke.
Only James Earl Jones
and George Lucas.
Wow.
He had an original line, and right before like they hit action, whatever, like George Lucas, this is the line, say this, whatever, and then film the scene post production. They put that famous line on there, and everybody was just like. I'm sure
a Star Wars fan might a major Star Wars fan might know that story, but I myself did not, and I just learned something. And I'm hosting.
You got to see it.
Yeah, I'm hosting the podcast with you guys, so I just learned something, and I work at the elbow drop. Although it's not work, it's more like play, honestly, because we're just really getting together and critiquing the stuff that we like and dislike. Whether that be Star Wars or wrestling. One thing that some members of this group like, some members of this group don't like. It's also a comic book, actually, so it segues a little bit. I like that word, segue. I don't know why they name those two-wheeled things segues. The people
will get you from one thing to another, like the verb when talking segues.
But it's just it's a terrible mode of transit. It's so slow, you just walk.
You don't use it right then. What is the thing? What is the thing that?
Neither here nor there. The Walking Dead is a comic book.
It's you and Mikey. I'm not going to say a word on this.
Well, it's Don Vito as well. Some people like it. Some people
He's behind
don't.
the camera. He doesn't count right now.
I think he counts. He's helping us out. But
in spirit.
Anyway, The Walking Dead is the most popular show on television. If you haven't heard of it, you literally are living under a rock. Seriously. Or in some country that resembles underneath
or frozen
a rock.
In carbonite, one of the few.
That's true. Good Star Wars reference.
Thank you.
Spoiler if anybody hasn't seen it.
They don't know who was frozen in carbonite.
That's true, but he was just in a plane crash the other day.
Guess he was frozen in carbonite.
Because he was frozen in carbonite.
Get off my plane.
Thank God he was okay, by the way.
Oh, thank God he was okay.
Best wishes to Harrison
That's what
Ford.
happens when you let Leia fly. Okay.
That must have been it. But segueing, talking about the Walking Dead. The Walking Dead. I think it's one of the most controversial shows on television because there are so many diehard fans that love it, and then there are people like you, Bob, who just hate it, can't stand it, and that's the end of that. And I can see both point of views. I'm one of those people that love it. This episode, this past Sunday, it's one of those episodes that some people, viewers like you, might consider boring. It was just the group in Alexandria getting accustomed to everything.
Oh no, I don't mind drama and like just talking and like you can have like an action movie, but if there's like some damn good dialogue going on and tension and just drama going on between characters, like Tarantino does masterfully in his movies, I'll sit there and I'll literally just wait for the next syllable to come out of the character's mouth.
Yeah.
But Walking Dead, clearly illustrated by like season 2 and 3, we can't do nothing. We need zombies. We need zombies. We need to paint zombies all over this giant pile of crap.
This is true, but
quick.
I mean, the show.
13-year-olds need to buy merchandise.
The show's called Walking Dead, so obviously the dead are.
And
the
I can only assume the viewers are dead. The watching dead.
That's just mean.
No.
See, but all right, I'm gonna turn to him now.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Because I have a question that I don't
I'm
think
gonna
you
give
can
Mikey,
answer.
Mikey Balls, please take this mic from me.
All right, Mikey. My favorite character in the history of The Walking Dead, the guy I found most entertaining, was the Governor. A lot of people loved him. He was such a great villain. I mean, really, he was a very, very good villain. But you have a different favorite character on The Walking Dead, and it's not somebody that every fan of the show really knows. So I was wondering if you could maybe tell the viewers and our listeners who that is.
Well, first off, I just want to say that, Bobby, I now have a second word that can be used to describe you, and that's cynical.
That's a big word for him.
No. You're being cynical. Damn you, Bobby, and your cynicism. And now back to who my... Yes, it is. Thank you. I can use big words occasionally. But anyway, back to what I was saying, back to the other question, the main point, and who my favorite character is. And that's a good question. And my favorite character is from the first season. Not a lot of people know this, probably remember it, but it was the horse. I think he appeared on the second or third episode.
He was actually on the first episode.
The horse was on the first
Yeah, that's how Rick rode into Atlanta.
That was the first episode. Okay,
Yeah.
so this horse... That was on the first episode, and the reason why this horse is like my favorite character is, well, because here's the thing, like, Rick took this horse, I figured, hey, they make a great team, Rick and the horse are going into town, he's got transportation, and the horse trusted Rick. And then Rick did something dastardly, something I can never forgive him for, and I still do not forgive him for this. He let that horse die. He led that horse into a swarm of zombies, and then the zombies proceeded to eat the horse, and Rick got away. And for all I know, maybe his intentions were dark. Maybe he was trying to kill this horse. Maybe he has something against horses. I don't know. Maybe there's something deeper here. But what I'm saying is this horse, it didn't deserve to die like that, and I can't forgive Rick. I really can't. And... the last episode of The Walking Dead, they did it again. This time it had nothing to do with Rick, but a poor horse died on the show. Now this time, however, Daryl and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the other.
Aaron.
Thank you. Aaron tried to save this horse, tried to help this horse, and that's something I appreciate, and it was very unfortunate that this horse had to die, which I'm guessing the writers of the show, I guess, have a problem with horses, or it could be the character Rick. I don't know. There's something going on here.
Would you say the horse probably would have been much better on if Rick never, woke up, probably?
The horse would have been better off, because you know what Rick did? Rick took the horse and led him into a group of zombies. That's all he did. That is all he did, him and his stupid hat. You know what? No, forget that. I'm sorry.
It goes back to hats.
I'm sorry. You know what? I shouldn't have cursed the hat out like that because I like the hat. The hat is too good for Rick and his son Carl. Okay? But this horse thing, I don't know. This horse fetish that the writer, that's going on with. I'm sick of it because Buttons didn't deserve to die.
You couldn't remember the name of the horse, but you couldn't. But the name of the character that was introduced 3 episodes ago
Buttons had something going. Buttons could have had a great backstory. Buttons, for all we know, maybe Buttons helped out the governor before the governor went to Woodbury. Maybe him and the governor met. Maybe the governor, they went. Maybe the governor sent them off. He said, "Hey, man, I don't. Hey, listen, you know what? You helped me get this far, but now you want to go out. You want to do your own thing. That's fine. I'm the governor." Okay? And now Buttons had to die for no reason. Now he was a horse kebab. Okay, that's all he was. That's it. Take it.
Okay, sure.
He gets very upset when he talks about Buttons.
Every time he uses glue, he cries.
Yeah. But that's Mikey's take on The Walking Dead. He's a very interesting fan of the show, and he has a very interesting perspective on what's shown on The Walking Dead.
But you know what? But you know what, though? It's okay, because my hope eventually is that the original horse from Season 1 especially because we're in a zombie world, anything is possible. I assume that this horse eventually will come back from the dead and get his revenge on Rick.
It's like Donkey punch him in the head and eat him.
Horse-killing bastard. He is gonna get him so good. He's probably, you know what he's gonna do? This horse is gonna really take it to him. He's gonna get to Carl. He's gonna get to Carl. He won't kill the baby because he's not a baby killer. He'll get to Carl.
He'll get to Carl, and then he'll proceed to do what?
He's gonna get Carl. He's gonna make him do some twisted stuff because does anybody out there know how it feels to get eaten by a swarm of zombies? Rick has no idea. So you know what? The horse might even make him do something like that. Maybe he's gonna get Carl eaten by some zombies, or something that might seem a little ridiculous. I was thinking the governor could come back and the horse could team up with the governor and they take on Rick.
Oh, buddy,
zombie governor, by the way.
Zombie governor, zombie horse versus alive Rick and Carl.
But Carl's gonna be in the house, so what's gonna happen?
Okay, this could happen.
Carl. I just like how you pointed out. I mean, I'm sure it's obvious to everybody who watches the show how Rick speaks and says Carl's name, because it is quite amusing that Andrew Lincoln, for some reason, feels like he has to speak like Batman sometimes when he says his son's name.
Christian Bale's a bad influence on decent actors.
Carl. Christian Bale. Anyway, that was a lovely rant on the horse and the Walking Dead. I was, like 10 minutes ago, I was going to segue from Walking Dead, because I said my piece on the show. I love it. It's very interesting. Apparently you love it too, and you love certain... I see that you're hoping for a very odd and unusual storyline to break through there. But I wanted to talk about another show on AMC, Better Call Saul.
Oh, that is good television.
Starring Bob Odenkirk, spin-off of Breaking Bad, which everybody will tell you is like the greatest show ever made in the history of ever, and Bryan Cranston is the greatest actor in the history of actors, which I tend to agree with. But
one of the greatest actors of all time.
Better Call Saul is a spin-off of that. The show started this year. It's already broken a bunch of cable television records.
Yep.
And rightfully so. I'm very entertained by it. Just me and you, we're all wrestling fans, but on Monday night, last 5 weeks, I've been changing the channel at 10 o'clock.
Like, it's leading to Mania. Like, my favorite period... I mean, I'm going to cut you off. I could probably speak for everybody in the elbow drop. Our favorite real period of wrestling is usually from the Rumble to Mania, because, like, that first quarter of the year, they're making rivalries, finishing rivalries, whatever, then boom, Mania. But now that Better Call Saul is around...
Not to get sidetracked, I believe some of that has to do with the main event picture of the WWE currently and how Roman Reigns is being utilized. We'll get to that on another...
That, too. But aside from that, yes, Better Call Saul is just that good. Pulls us away from our passion, wrestling, to watch this show.
Bob Odenkirk, leading man. And I gotta say, I love the character of Saul Goodman. Well, right now he's Jimmy McGill.
He's Jimmy McGill, yeah.
That's not a spoiler. But my favorite character on that show is Mike Ehrmantraut, who's played by the great Jonathan Banks.
Yes, which we get a lot more character.
Last night's episode was phenomenal. You got to see into the past of Mike Ehrmantraut and understand where he's coming from and why he's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mikey, what do you think of Better Call Saul?
Fantastic show. Like,
does the lack of horses bother you?
No. It's okay. It's okay because I'm afraid that maybe they'll probably just want to kill horses, just like The Walking Dead. That apparently is something against horses, or maybe it's just Rick. I'm getting angry again.
He's turning green. Stop.
Point is, AMC.
It's a great show. It's Better Call Saul's a great show.
I said this the other day, Breaking Bad and Mad Men, which is coming to a close this April. If anybody's a fan, it should be very good, the last 7 episodes. I'm a fan. I'll be checking it out. But anyway, Breaking Bad and Mad Men put AMC on the map, and then Walking Dead made them god of all cable television networks, pretty much. And they're really they're the top. They're the bee's knees right now. And right now they got Better Call Saul, Walking Dead, and Mad Men coming back. So right now, I see them remaining at the top for a little bit.
Yeah.
They kind of host all of my favorite shows. The only other show that I'm really into, I see you mouthed it, you knew, Game of Thrones, but that's on HBO. That's a subscribe service that you have to pay for.
But for those of you who can't afford it, Better Call Saul.
Yeah, or Better Call Saul on cable. We'll get into all of that because we all have a varied amount of TV shows we watch. I love Gotham. I'm watching it right now. I know there's some naysayers.
I'm watching The Flash, which is amazing.
The Flash.
I'm getting ready for Daredevil. They keep releasing more and more
On
information
Netflix.
and trailers on it. I
we
love
got
the new cast of Kingpin.
Always Sunny DVD back there.
Always Sunny,
Huge
God bless.
fans at the Elbow Drop
Huge,
of It's Always
huge.
Sunny in Philadelphia. Some of the funniest television I've ever seen. I'm looking around for other stuff. We got a family. Peter Griffin up here. We're Family Guy fans. Modest Family Guy fans at that, but we do quote it all the time. So there's a lot of television coverage. There's a lot of movie coverage. Video games we covered. Comic books, superheroes. I mean, the whole 9 yards. That's what we cover at the Elbow Drop. At professional
Absolutely.
wrestling and sports as well. Mikey, do you have anything to say before we go out?
Video games, too.
Yeah, there is something on my mind here. There is a red line and some blue stuff that's getting bigger and smaller. It's a lot going on here. I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, the blue is our voices.
Oh.
And the red line is a track of time.
Well, then are we running out of time? Because it looks like it's increasing. And we're getting to a limit.
And considering the little time we have left, let's close out.
Yeah, that's the point. That's why I came over to you right now. So do you actually have anything you want to say?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I just want to say, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Check us out at YouTube, Kickstarter. That's the important one.
Every little bit helps on Kickstarter.
Yeah, please. We got that up and running right
if you
now.
love tonight, you're going to love us even more with everything you give to us back.
Yeah, but we got more and more on social media as well. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
You name it, we're there.
So please check us out. I'm the Birdman.
I'm Batman.
Mikey.
Mikey Balls.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Woo!